Let me show you my hacks to setting goals so that you actually achieve them. Learning the language of your subconscious mind is key for this. I'll show you how. When you have a goal or somewhere that you are aiming for, somewhere you want to get to, you need to have an intention to provide direction. Otherwise, it's like getting into a car without knowing your destination. You won't know which roads to take or where to turn left and right. You need that sense of where you are going first, and it needs to be really clear. Your unconscious mind is the powerhouse that drives all of your behaviors, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And your unconscious mind also doesn't respond to vague ideas or concepts like self-love or forgiveness or working hard. To combat that, you need to speak in a way that your unconscious mind will accept and understand. So an obvious example of an intention that a lot of people might have is saying, "I am rich," and trying to affirm that to themselves. If that doesn't ring true on a real deep level, then your unconscious mind actually rejects that. And so saying things that you don't fully believe and therefore subconsciously reject will create feelings of powerlessness in the body. It doesn't make you feel that good because it's not really true, you're not feeling that. But so saying things that are factual to you that you do believe on some level will create energy in your body. You'll be able to feel the difference. I am enough and I am worthy are other great examples of that. You might think on a logical level that you can get on board with that, but if you actually think about them, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that you are worthy of more money or love or success or great friendships? Maybe you agree with those statements on some level, but underneath that there is some resistance because you might think that you need to work hard in order to earn money, because we are increasingly taught that we need to work hard to earn all sorts of things, not that we are worthy of them just by existing. In childhood, we are programmed to be good because then good things will happen to us. And if we're bad, then we get punished for it. And logically now as adults, we know that that's ridiculous because plenty of good things happen to bad people and plenty of bad things happen to good people. But we still see our goodness as connected to our worth in some way. Here are 3 things to consider when you're setting intentions so that you feel good about them and you get inspired into action. You want to envisage a specific scenario with a sensory response. So as I've already mentioned, we need to skip vague concepts. Your unconscious mind needs to be able to see it, to be on board with it. And this is where visualization and creating different images in your mind really comes in, of how you intend to be acting and interacting with enough specificity that you can see and hear representations of what is intended. So one example could be, I see myself having lunch with a new friend. If you can't see it or hear it, then it's unlikely that your unconscious mind will even know what you're talking about. So you can't see someone having a better relationship with money. What does that look like? You can't see someone being more present. What does that even mean? It doesn't resonate with what your unconscious mind, it doesn't know what to do with that information. That's a way of talking that your conscious mind can theoretically grasp, but your unconscious mind just doesn't know what the hell is going on. So if you then use those kind of statements in your mantras and affirmations and you just say, I am better with money, I have a great relationship with money, I am present. It's the same as having someone speak to you in a foreign language that you're not going to understand and your unconscious mind doesn't understand you either. But instead what it does respond to is specificity. And when you give your unconscious mind something really clear and specific, something like take a 30-minute walk or spend 5 minutes journaling on something you're really excited about, that is when you will feel the shift. It's getting rid of the abstract ideas. You're not trying to wade through them and work out what that actually means. Instead, you're in action. You have a clear idea of what it is you need to be doing to get where you need to go. And that creates real, tangible clarity. It might seem silly, but this intention needs to be something that is possible for you to achieve and that doesn't depend on external circumstances changing. So it's something that's within your control, not saying, I want my neighbour to start jumping up and down. And this can be different from what a lot of people do with their different manifestation exercises, for example, where the focus is on trying to change something external in the environment around them or just magically having something materialize in front of them. So you want to align your intention with something that comes from within your own mind. We're looking for a shift within yourself, not a shift in the world around you. And although the world around you might shift as you start to shift, but you're not looking to aim at that directly. And finally, you want to check for internal conflict about your intention. And you check in two places. So do you have conflict around the result, or do you have conflict around the road to the result? So using the example of weight loss, your intention might be, I see myself looking down at looking at how toned I am in the mirror. How does that feel to you? You want to check for conflict with the results. So maybe you know someone who was actually bullied for being really slim, or maybe you knew someone who was actually diagnosed with a serious illness after quite a dramatic weight loss. And so you have a bit of conflict there because you associate being slim or having lost weight with an unhappy situation or something that you actually don't want to create in your life. And you also want to check for conflict around the road to getting that result. So if as part of it you have decided that you need to give up your daily donut, but you're actually not willing to do that, then that is going to create some conflict because you're not seeing it as possible for you to achieve. So you can just adjust the intention until you get agreement from yourself, both with the result that you're looking for and the road to the result. Specificity, possibility, and checking for internal conflict that are the keys here. And once you have those ingredients in place, you can give your unconscious mind some really clear and doable actions. And you can watch as things start to click into place for you and you make progress towards your goals.